And we can see we've actually switched arenas now. We've got some boards in there and the pace is on. Munners, I want to say this is maybe, we can see Southport out in front. That could be Brodie Trinker, one of our amazing tablins out there. There we go. It is the U19 Female Board Relay. Southport, an amazing start out the front. That looks to be Maroochydore on the right-hand side as well. We'll grab the start list for you pretty soon. So board relay, 3 paddlers in this one, unlike a surf teams which has 4. And if this is under 19s, it could well be a final already. We'll have a little look.
Yeah, it was interesting to see our leaders choosing to lay down in the beginning stages of that race. Everyone is up on their knees now, but sometimes if you can transition that speed from running, lying down onto your board, you can do what we can see our leader has done there, and she's really gapped them. She's got probably a 5-metre lead.
That's a beautiful start for Southport there. This is the under-19 board relay. We have confirmed it is a final as well. So, Munners, it's on. Australian Championship on the line.
Medals on offer, and you can see that's represented in the pace that these girls, that rating, the arms as deep as you can go, and the idea will be to sort of stay up on your knees if you can to get to that first can, because that's the fastest way. A lot of them will lay down around the cans just to conserve their legs for that paddle back home, and also it's a little bit safer when you've got to contend with a lot of boards around you.
Absolutely. And this is going to be really interesting, Munners. Now that we've changed arena, we've seen for the races that we just had, the under-17 skis, they got caught on the cans. The sweep was quite strong out there. Do you think we're going to see the same thing in this arena for the boards?
Yeah, that wind will still come into play, and you know, as we heard from Sam earlier, it's swung a bit from the north. It's almost sort of side on, and it's the conditions are changing here every day with those wind conditions. So the girls really have to be aware of it. You're less likely probably to get caught on your board. It's a little bit easier to nose your way in, but you do still need to be pretty aggressive around that first can. The girls have navigated it really beautifully. No one has really lost any ground or been held up. So we can see they're doing a great job in allowing for that wind and also allowing for the other competitors around them. But
how good is Southport now? Opening
that's
up the
really
account.
strong board technique. She's got her head nice and low to the board, and her rating has not slowed up. So be interesting to see if she can keep that rating going
absolutely
for the whole way back home.
So we've got Southport, City of Perth, Swansea, Belmont on the right, Maroochydore on the inside, Wanda coming through. That looks to be Taylor Halliday from Alexandra Headlands in the pack, Newport, and then Northcliffe leading the chase pack out. This is wonderful. I'm going to read the full list. We've got North Cronulla, Swansea, Newport, North Bondi, Emu Park, Alex, Manly, BHMP, Manly again, 2 teams, so strong. Northcliffe, Southport, another Northcliffe, another Southport, City of Perth, Maroochydore and Wanda, but it is all Southport at the moment. And the great news is that we're going to be able to see all of the transitions here. We will throw down to Sam on the beach as they start to run through. We want to get all of the action down there. And again, Munners, if this is an Australian championship, the beach is going to be packed. Everyone will come to the arena for this one.
Yeah, when you know that there are gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal on the line, everyone will be out of their seats watching this one. Southport are still holding their lead.
Such a good lead
but
in the first leg.
Yeah, the chase pack might be narrowing that down. Some of the competitors choosing to go a slightly different direction on the way in. Swansea, they're sort of heading a little bit to the south, potentially thinking there might be a bit more of a wave on the bank down there. And
interesting that Taylor Halliday is still on her tummy.
Yeah, well, I guess in these windy conditions, sometimes you can get a bit more momentum down on your tummy than you can up on your knees. So it's choppy and it's windy, and that can be a bit disruptive on your knees. But I think our leaders are...
Here comes the wave, Munners. What's
just
your call?
about to pick up something. Well, we've got 1 on, we've got 2
Swansea pushing hard.
So well done to close that massive gap that Southport have had. Heading a bit further to the south has played off for our Swansea competitor. You can see there is still a bit of a bank and a gutter. Southport choosing to get up and run a lot earlier. That was interesting, and she's turned with the same wave there, but it's Southport and Swansea. Sam, what are you seeing down there on the beach?
Yeah, that was a really interesting tactical decision there by Southport. Standing up early, she made the go of it on the run, and that gave her those few extra metres. As you can see now, as the competitors, the second paddlers are getting tagged. That getting up early has resulted in about a 5-10 metre lead.
And Sam, it's so interesting seeing the change in the different arenas here. That bank looks really trippy, and the potholes are claiming a few casualties this morning.
Yeah, that's right, particularly on this mid-tide now as well. So it's still a decision for athletes to make. It's not obvious enough to run all the way across it. It's not deep enough to paddle through it. So I think we're going to see the field doing a bit of a 50-50 split.
And Sam, so great to see City of Perth from WA in third position at the moment.
Yeah, that's right. It's and the pack is starting to come through now as well, but it's always great to see our clubs from across the country come together and push each other to the limit. The WA contingent that is here due to quarantine restrictions are really doing their state proud.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Sam. Now, Munners, I am really interested in your opinion here. We had our two ladies head out there, Southport and Swansea Belmont. They've taken completely different lines.
Yeah, I'm not sure that our Southport competitor has spotted the can. She's really heading a long way north. I think she might be correcting herself now. I think she was heading for a can in the other arena, so that's a huge tactical error for her team there. You've really got to do your research while you're standing on the line there.
Yes.
You've got to spot that first can before you really run into the water and set your internal compass for that first can. She has just made that error, which is a simple error to make, but it has cost her team dearly, and you can see she's really working to keep that lead that she had, and we won't really know until they hit that first can just the effects of that decision to
Absolutely. We thought it was tactics. It may have been a mistake, but this is where it's so interesting, as you said, to set that internal compass and be really confident in the decisions that you make. I love that Swansea obviously had lined up her can. She knew where she was going, and she was like, no, I've made my decision. I'm going right now.
Yeah, you don't want to follow the leader. You definitely want to make that decision for yourself, and and it can be something that is learned through experience. You don't want to just start your race, get out the back, and then think you'll find the can. You really want to spot it on the beach before you go. But she's come back.
Good news is
she's held her lead. It has narrowed, but she's not given away. That's probably down to a 3 or 4 metre lead now. So she has lost some ground, but it wasn't.
But they're not out of it yet by any means.
Much of a devastating decision.
And that was Newport, Maroochydore, Alex, City of Perth, Wanda and Manly in the chase pack here. So we've still got our two ladies out in front, Southport and Swansea Belmont. The chase pack is on, and it's Emu Park leading out the next one. They are going to have to work really, really hard to try and bridge that gap, because you've got to think the winners are going to come from the top two or that next little chase pack.
Yeah, and that Southport competitor there,
she's done well. She's recovered.
Making amends for that error. She's obviously really angry at herself, and it's actually playing into her favour. She is fighting so hard to give her team the lead that was given to her. And as we saw, it's not just a board paddling race, it's also a running race. You don't want to just think that your job's over.
Technique from Southport.
When you get to the beach, you can make huge gains and huge metres by really sprinting that transition. So they're having to come a long way back to the arena.
Aren't they?
Tacking up against that wind, but they're all doing it. They've all spotted the flags on the beach that they've got to aim for to get around to tag their last competitor. So if she can get a wave here on her own, it'll be really setting her team up to be hard to catch for that last leg.
Look at that rating. Gee, she is doing so well. And as you said earlier, keeping really nice and low. Southport, Pierce Leonard, obviously coaching the crew out that way. They've got an amazing structure set up. Southport are known as craft specialists as well. It's so great to see them out here. And I'm loving that they're leading this under-19 board relay final for Australian Championships.
Yeah, her rating hasn't slowed. You can see she's lying down now, and it might just be because that wind is coming into play, and you don't want to the wind to sort of slow your momentum.
Absolutely.
But she can feel those swells underneath her, which is why she has jumped back up on her knees. And there's one building. I think she might get this.
Now, we've seen some of them, they just need to be able to push over these ones, but it is so deceptive. They fill up so quickly, and it's so depressing when you think, oh, I'm on, and then you're like, and I'm not.
No, I think she could feel that one, but yeah, you're right, they are still quite full. Nothing coming for her, so now she's in a bit of trouble and in a bit of a danger spot for the field to potentially catch a wave and close that gap.
And let's have a talk about this chase back. It was Swansea clearly in second, but now we've got Maroochydore, Wanda, Alex, Newport and City of Perth still in there. But Maroochydore really the big move here. But I tell you what, we'll go down to Sam on the beach soon. These girls have had to paddle the entire way in. This is heartbreaking, but out the back, this is the backmarker's delight. Sam, how's Southport looking down on the beach?
Yeah, look, she's had an incredible paddle, but like you said, a wave has come through and picked up the rest of the field now. But Southport will head into this this first turning flag in first place, which was an incredible paddle. Going to the wrong can isn't just tough physically, having to paddle a bit of extra distance, but mentally for her to compose herself in the way that she did, that's really impressive.
Oh, Sam, we're so excited here. We're seeing the chase pack come through. It's still anybody's race for those minor medals.
Yeah, that's right. Newport currently has third position, but it is anyone's guess after that. Look, I do think that this race is going to come right down to the wire. Maroochydore now pulling up onto Southport, pushing for the gold medal, but one wave can change all of that.
Absolutely, Sam. As they head back, what are you hearing from the crowd? Are they giving directions? Are they saying go left, go right, or is it just go hard?
Plenty of noise. That's what I'm hearing from the crowd. Everyone's really excited down here on the beach, and rightfully so. It's an Australian title, but look, I think they know that these competitors have had their instructions from their coaches. You don't want to be changing your plans too much throughout the race and responding to emotions or things as they do happen. So there's plenty of words of encouragement.
Absolutely. Now, Manas, this is where it gets quite exciting. Maroochydore has had a fantastic second leg there and a beautiful transition as well. She's done a very, very smart move here. She's trying to get on the wash. She's tucking in behind. When we talk about wash riding, what are we talking about there? Why does everybody want to do this?
Oh, basically just to conserve energy. It is really the race from the third can in. So it's really smart racing from the Maroochydore competitor. She's obviously worked really hard through the break to catch back up to that wash. And if she can just settle in there, she can potentially conserve a little bit of energy. The Southport competitor out in front doing all the work, as you can see at the moment.
Yes, it's so tough.
It is still hard to get over that wash and push out in front, but we'll be able to see as they turn whether the Maroochydore competitor has conserved enough to push over and push for the lead on the way back home. But heartbreaking to see that second competitor just not get any luck with the waves on the way in.
Rough.
All she needed was a wave, and it would be a different story right now. But as we saw, she had to paddle right the way to the shore, which has opened up the opportunity for our Maroochydore club to still be in the mix and in the hunt for that gold medal.
Close. But I tell you what, I'm really impressed right now with Alexandra Headlands. They're leading that chase pack, and they've decided that they're not going to sit there and wait. They're not going to drag the rest of this field around. They're starting to break away from that chase pack and potentially starting to make up a little bit of ground on 1 and 2.
Yeah, and that's really impressive, and it's hard to do to break away from a chase pack in this flat water conditions. It's pretty easy to stick on someone's wash, so that just shows the strength of that Alexandra Headland competitor to actually drop those fourth and fifth competitors behind her. And she's chasing for that first and second gold medal, but she's also putting herself in a safer spot for the bronze.
Absolutely. It's Manly and Newport by no means out of it just now. We're hoping that if there wasn't a wave for the second leg, will we see one in the third now? Southport is hoping just to make a break. Maroochydore wants to be there, and Alex is trying to bridge the gap. This is exactly the sort of drama that you want to see in an under-19 board relay final.
Yeah, but look at that. There's nothing really coming on the horizon. So it's looking like it's going to be a pretty flat, hard race all the way in for the girls. But Alexandra Headland's looking so
very strong.
The only competitor up on their knees at the moment, which is a really dominant position to be in.
And taking a slightly different line in.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily not smart to go straight in. She's not tacking back up against the wind, so potentially you can go a lot faster when you're going either side on or even with the wind. And for her line of thinking at the moment will be, once I get to the beach, I can run a lot faster than I can paddle. So sometimes it is best just to head directly in,
not fight the ocean,
and make it up with the run.
Absolutely. They're hugely spread out at the moment, and it's so good when it is so flat. You do get to see the decisions that are being made and the girls choosing different areas. Southport has not let up this rating at all. She's determined to hold on to the lead and take out the championship. This is where it gets interesting. I think Maroochydore is going to need a wave from here to take the title.
Yeah, Southport are not giving in without a fight. They've actually put a bit more distance into that lead. Alex looks like they might have almost have drawn up level with second place now. And it's just going to come down to this wave zone. Waves are on offer.
Oh, this is so I'm getting nervous just watching these ladies right now. Southport is still in 1, Maroochydore holding on to 3, but Alexandra Headlands is closing very, very quickly, third position. They think they're on the podium right now, but they want to pull up. Alex trying to pull over a little wave here, but they're just so full at the moment. But Southport, looking good right now. Mana's paddling away from the field.
Yeah, and you've got to feel for the girls. There has not been any assistance
so
at
tough.
all from the ocean. And now, as much as their bodies are burning, they've got to get up and sprint or bunny hop, as we can see across that bank. It's too shallow to run. I think that's a really smart decision.
So
Get off,
good.
bunny hop with your board. Her teammates are cheering her on.
Celebrations down there.
They know that she's got it.
So there you go. Southport is going to take out the under-19 board relay, but we're interested to see 2 and 3, two of our local clubs in action now. But a big win for Southport, the Fried Eggs. They're going to be so excited. They had some drama, but look at this. It could be Maroochydore in second. A silver medal for the Black Swans, the home club. Alexandra Headlands, a fantastic paddle. That looks to be Emma Woods coming through,
great paddle
I think.
from Emma. Really smart reading the ocean there. It just didn't pay off for her. She was in the right position for a wave and had one come through. We would have seen a different race, but 1, 2, 3 we can see there, deservedly so to Southport. They led that the whole way, so it's nice to see a gold medal go to the team that really did lead from the very first leg.
That's what we want to see, especially after that little wobble with a little bit of drama, but they've recovered beautifully. Swansea Belmont, one of our early leaders, coming through now as well. Wanda crosses the line. Sam is down on the beach. We will cross to him in a moment, but we always want to make sure that we're recognising all of the competitors and seeing them as they come through. But Sam, you've got one of our winners down on the line. We've lost Sam. There's too much excitement happening down on the beach at the moment. We were talking the other day, one of the toughest roles this weekend is going to be the COVID marshal, trying to keep everybody distance, especially when there's those big wins coming through. Everybody wants to get down there. Everybody wants to celebrate. We saw some beautiful scenes for the youth championships, but it's time for the opens now. I'll tell you what, let's go down to Sam.
Yeah, that's right. The girls are still celebrating their win, and for good reason as well. Southport, the under-19 Australian Board Relay champions. How does that sound?
It just feels so amazing. Like, I just can't comprehend it right now. We've trained so hard for this, and we raced in Millwap, and we just couldn't believe it.
She raced up from the 17, so we were like, we have faith in her abilities because she's such a good board paddler, and she does the lay down a bit, but we had faith in our 17s because we thought we had a pretty good chance coming out of state with a first. Like, that was pretty confidence boosting, but we didn't know. Obviously, we haven't raced in so long against these other teams from interstate as well, so we didn't know. But we went into it with high hopes and then somehow pulled through. So,
well, for Morgan, you were forced to paddle all the way back to the beach at the end there. You had no assistance with you. What was going through your mind on the way home?
I was just so scared because I knew Alex or Maroochydore were like right on my tail, and I was trying to paddle in and everyone was screaming and I was just scared I was going to muck it up. But Brodie set us up amazingly. Bella gave us a bit of a scare, but she pulled through, which is all that matters.
I was going to ask about the bit of a roller coaster race. What was going through your mind? It was an incredible job to compose yourself in the way that you did.
It's just because we've been in the green and gold arena the whole time. I'm just so used to seeing that. I just went into autopilot mode, and then I was like, just quickly noticed, and I just never sprinted so hard to the first can.
Well, you recovered incredibly well, and in the end, it didn't matter. Southport, you are the under-19 Australian Board Relay champions. Congratulations.
Thank